welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147, and I'm working on my Dreamer Designs painting today. I've not quite finished it yet. I did get some of it done a couple of nights this week, but not too many. I had some items arrive from a UK supplier, so kept me busy for a few more of the days. But I am happy to say we have been able to ship out some of the 12-day advents, with some more 12-day advents to ship out next week. Before we even offered the pre-orders, when we first initially were able to get together a few 12 days due to stuff that we already had in or were able to get hold of quickly, I did actually place an order with one of my suppliers that takes a little bit longer to arrive. I did place an order with them for a small amount of the items that we would need to be able to make up more 12 days. And they have started arriving, so they've got sort of a week ahead. When we opened the pre-orders and had actual numbers that we would need to aim for, we did place another larger order with them, which is of course behind by about a week or so, but at least it means we can start getting some of the orders out to you. You'll receive a ship notification basically as soon as yours goes out. The diamond paintings are due probably week after next, after this week coming up, probably the week after. In fact, definitely the week after, maybe a few days into the week after that. We shall see. I don't want to over-promise that they will be here the week after next and then something happen and then get stuck at UK customs or something for a bit longer. But they are on their way. They're on a plane, and as soon as they arrive, of course, we will be getting orders out ASAP. International first, followed by UK, just because UK get them a lot quicker anyway. But yeah, it's been a busy few weeks. I started putting together the 12-day advent boxes yesterday. Started putting all the bits together bar the last 3 bits that I was waiting for from a supplier. Some of those turned up yesterday at 2 o'clock. So with the fact that I'd started preparing the advent boxes, I was able to pause that and get a few orders out on Friday, and then I plan on getting as many of the others orders out on Monday/Tuesday until I run out of my initial stock purchase, and then the rest will follow when the rest of the goods arrive. But yes, it's a very busy time here as always at the moment, but yeah, it's all fun. It's a good job. I enjoy it. So comments and questions etc. for today from last WIP and Chat. There's quite a lot of talk about the Diamond Art Studio event that they're holding in November, which is good because I will be kitting up a Diamond Art Studio kit for that this week, and I'll probably be working on it alongside this Dreamer Designs one, because I don't think I'm going to get it finished beforehand. I'm going to try, but we're already in the 20s for October. We only have like just over a week left, which is a little bit redonkulous. I don't know where October has disappeared to, but it has very, very quickly disappeared. I think September disappeared quicker than I thought as well. So, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get this finished in October or not. I'm going to try, because this is going to be the painting I'm going to be working on anytime I do get to diamond paint, between now and the 1st of November, which is when I can start my diamond art studio. And then I might just work on them both, trying to get this Dreamers Designs finished while enjoying doing the diamond art studio as well. Be weird to have 2 large paintings on the go. It's been a while since I've had 2. I think it was Minions along with something else potentially. Not including my Heaven and Earth designs, of course. Which, doing a section of my Heaven and Earth design a day has not worked in October. Life does get in the way. I do very greatly appreciate everybody who has sent me diamonds. There is a comment put, I can't remember if it's on a WIP Chat. If it is, I'm sure I'll be reading it out in a bit, or whether it was on another video. But somebody did suggest for me to actually open the diamonds I got off everybody that they sent me for my Heaven and Earth designs, to open them on video, because they like those type of organisation videos, even if everything is a little bit chaotic and I've not pre-planned anything. So I have scheduled that in as a video. It's not going to be this week. I think it's going to be next week, because otherwise I don't know when I will get round to doing it. But if it's on my video schedule, then I will do it, because it's a video I need to do. Sometimes that's just the way it needs to work. So I'll do a video getting all those diamonds opened, popped into my stash, hopefully update my list for my Heaven and Earth designs, and at least then I'll have all the diamonds, because I do want to do another month of purely working on my Heaven and Earth designs like I've done before. I just need things to calm down so that I can spend that 3/4 of an hour to an hour each day doing some. Ooh, I nearly missed all this blue down here. Let me get this for. I've got a load of blue. I've also got the letter O, which is another one of the hard symbols to see. But I've just realised that I missed all this by running my finger over my canvas. I mean, I would see it when I was working on it at night with the light pad on. It would be easier to see. But oh, because the symbols are so thin, like the font, it's not in bold. It's like it's in normal font rather than bold. It can actually make some letters and numbers really, really hard to see. And that's what makes them hard to see on the light pad as well. But the cat lady, she says she is going to pop over to a diamond art studio and have a look. She said it seems interesting. She's also said, in relation to drying of clothes, she does dry outside when possible. She does have a dryer, as do quite a few of us in the UK, whether we have a dryer or a combi washer dryer. She says, but it's too expensive to use the dryer at the moment. And that's true. Our electric prices are not pretty. The 3D printers do sap quite a bit, but there's not much we can do about that. But I can not use the dryer and use like a clothes horse or maiden, depending on what you call it. For the most part, I do occasionally pop on a dryer load, but that has only really been since we've got back off holiday, just in an attempt to get on top of the washing, because as soon as you have 4 or 5 people's washing where there's not really been any done for at least a week / a week and a half because we've been away, it mounts up really quickly, especially when there's not been any really nice drying days where I could get like 4 or 5 loads dry. I love the summer. I love the summer and spring for getting washing dry. Nancy Allen says she's all ready for the Diamond Art Studio event. She's looking forward to doing a Mr. Big Bird, which is Mr. Quacker's that I did. I love doing that painting. Yeah, I'm really excited to kit up my Diamond Art Studio for the event. I do love a good kitting up, and I thought it was going to be a while before I would be kitting up a large painting because I'm still working on this one. But because I'm sneaking this one in for the event, it means I get to kit up another one, which is always good. Okay, I've just managed to knock all these diamonds all over the place. Okay, let me try that. It will give us a different painting as well for one of the WIP Chats at least. I'll be able to work on the Diamond Art Studio. I may even pull out the mystery painting that I kitted up last week. I've not yet worked on any of that, but I may pull that out for a WIP and Waffle in the future, just to try and vary what I'm working on if I can. Anne Smith, she says she's hoping that Diamond Art Studio have a great event. And okay, let me just get my next colour. So Melissa has commented, and she said, "Hi Rebecca." She said, "Sorry to cite Giles and Sam." She says she's not going to be able to take part in the event. She says she has something really exciting happening. She says she has been offered a house and she's hopefully moving in mid-November. She says, and finally moving out of the refuge after a long 9 months. She said she hopes it goes extremely well. She said 100% she will take part in another if they decide to do one. Well, that is the best reason ever to not take part in an event, Melissa. I'm so happy that you have managed to get a house, and I hope everything goes well. I know you're itching to get all your items out of storage. You'll be able to be reunited with your diamond painting goodies that are in storage, and hopefully you'll get settled quickly. Mid-November, see, it's time to do the initial frantic move and then get settled, ready for Christmas in your new home, which will be amazing. So yeah, best excuse ever. Darcy, she said she was bummed out because she couldn't participate on this year's Advent. She said she really doesn't have the money to do it. You can still take part in the December Advent. Just do one of your paintings from your own stash. Doesn't have to be the one that we sold. She said listening to the WIP Chat today, she said she thinks that maybe you need to start thinking about next year's Advent. You're telling me. She said with shipping the way things are at the moment, she said it may be easier to get the items early for next year's Advent. Yes, me and Megan have already been discussing next year's Advent. We have already started some discussions to start doing stuff or start, you know, prepping come next year. So it'll probably be near the beginning of the year we'll start finalising plans, because how popular the Advent has been this year, if we do it again next year, taking into account, you know, the popularity that this year's has had, we're going to have a lot of work ahead of us over a lot of months to get everything ready, because putting 24 things into bags takes a lot more time than you realise as soon as you increase the quantity. Even the 12-day Advents, I spent all day yesterday, and this wasn't putting them in the brown bags. I've already spent days putting them in the brown bags, putting the days onto them, and then putting them into boxes, one item at a time. And it's taken me at least a day, sometimes 2 days per item, to just get them into bags, to then get them into boxes. I spent all day yesterday on it, and I still don't have them all in boxes. So it's amazing how time flies, is probably just the shortest way to say it. It really is amazing how time flies when you're doing it. And if we were to do, you know, if everything does go well and we decide to do another 24-day one for next year, then firstly we want to get our thinking caps on, because we want a lot of things to be different, and 24 items is a lot of items when you're trying to make them different. So there'll be a lot of planning in relation to that, and then there is a lot of prep work off the back of that as well. It's very hard to discuss when Advents have yet to be opened, but yeah, we have already sort of started preliminary discussions, and we are thinking if we do decide to do an Advent next year, we may try and do it, launch it a month earlier, which I know really won't help people with the temptation side of things, but it may help with ensuring that items get to people early enough. Or maybe we'll do, I don't know, maybe we'll do a pre-order a couple of months earlier so that people can secure it, and then we'll do a launch with the rest of them. Who knows? Who knows? But we will be over-ordering on the basis that we can sell items individually if required, in the hope of making sure that everybody gets what they want. But yeah, it's busy, busy, busy. Sue, she says, by some miracle, she said she got her order at 10:02 and she paid with PayPal. Maybe she's the person I'm thinking that did manage to pay with PayPal and quick. She said she was very lucky to get it. She said she got her order within 2 days. She said, so a big thank you for getting them out so quickly. She said, who's going to Australia with you and who will be looking after Luna? She said, I hope you have a well-deserved lovely time. Thank you, Sue. See, that's my next lot of prep. Once these pre-orders are out, I need to prep for being away in January. For Australia, I am going with our second eldest, Caris. Normally, what I do is if we exclude the fact that COVID has completely mucked everything up, my normal plan was I would go every other year. So every 2 years with one of the kids. And it was actually Megan's turn. I've done that for, before COVID, I did it for 6 years. So I've actually been with Lewis on his own, with Catherine and with Caris. And each time the child that was going was determined by their schooling. So it was determined by whether they were in a GCSE year, whether they were in an A-level year, whether they were at uni. Like it was all decided by the child that didn't need to stay for some form of education. And it worked out that there was no time when two of them could have gone and it was a matter of which one went. It was always, there was only one child that wasn't in, you know, an important year to be able to come to Australia with me for 3 weeks. For this time, it was supposed to be Megan and would have potentially been possibly next summer, to go around the fact that she works during term time. So we'd have gone for Australians winter. Not as good, but sometimes needs must. However, Caris, before COVID, was actually going to be flying back from a trip with my brother, from a trip he took, and was going to stay in Australia for a year, living with my sister. As sort of, originally it was a year in Australia once she finished uni. That was the idea. My brother was due over with his family. They'd actually booked the flights and booked it that Caris would fly back with them, so that she'd have somebody to go with, and then would stay for a year before coming back. That flight actually did get cancelled and fully refunded due to COVID. It was supposed to be in June or July of 2020. So Caris has now things have calmed down. Her trip to Australia for the year was replanned, that she was going around Christmas time of this year. So either just after Christmas or the beginning of January was when she was planning on going. She was just going according to flight prices. And then my sister actually suggested that I came out with her, so that she had somebody to fly with, and because I haven't seen my family. Okay, change my battery. I've actually still got a diamond stuck to my pen. So yeah, my sister suggested that I actually went with her. So I've decided to go for, well, I've gone for 2 weeks, and that is partly due to Luna, because Sue's other question is who will be looking after Luna. So Catherine, my youngest, will be off uni for Christmas. So the dates we have gone for is before she has to go back to uni. And then I will fly back and have jet lag. Because, you know, jet lag's a wonderful thing. But it would be really, really good to be able to go and visit, albeit a short visit. But I don't tend to do the touristy bit anyway. It tends to just be family time. That's what I love. Jackie, she says, Becky messaged her about the Diamond Art Studio event. She said, so the first thing she did when she got home was to get a Diamond Art Studio canvas out of her folder. She says it's been kitted up for months. Awesome. Part of me did think about doing one of their really older canvases that I have, which is a daisy one. I think it's one of the first ones that I got from them. Right at the beginning, when they first sort of were about to try out, to be able to try out what their canvases were like. And it's still in my stash. It's not been chosen by the decision wheel. But I was really excited about the new one. It's a Christmassy themed one, which seems perfect for November. And it's not yet in my decision wheel, so I don't have to take it out. I just don't put it in at all. I just do it instead. Just do it quickly. Darcy says she's just put her pre-order in for the painting for Round. She says she'll make sure she can pay for it. She says she really wanted it. I'm not sure whether you've just popped your email address in for that, Darcy. The email waitlist, that doesn't guarantee you a painting, just so you're aware. Make sure that you have funds available as soon as the paintings have come in and the pre-orders have gone out, and we've ensured that everybody who has pre-orders, because we only had pre-orders open for 48 hours and pre-orders were all paid for at the point of ordering. So once all those have gone out, because they've all paid for it, then any remaining stock, of which there will be some, we have made sure that we over ordered. Any remaining stock will go up on the website and the emails will go out for people to be able to buy them. So if you mean that you've popped your email address in, keep an eye, because you still will need to go through and purchase. It's not guaranteed. Okay. I'm just dropping diamonds all over my desk. Don't mind me. What do I want next? I think I want these 3 dots. Bernadette, she says, another great WIP and Waffle. She said she loves Sunday afternoons. Have a nice lazy Sunday afternoon. I'm hoping to have a lazy Sunday afternoon, because of course I'm filming this ready for Sunday afternoon. I'm still half and half. I'm actually filming this on Saturday, so the day before, and I am half and half at the moment as to whether I am taking Sunday off or not. There's a reason behind that. Partly, I sort of would rather keep going, not lose motivation, and get everything as ready as I can, as prepped as I can, and then potentially, you know, take a couple of days off and sort of chill. Because I also feel that if I take a day off, I can potentially, it takes me a lot longer to get going again. But I have been doing that for about the past 2-3 weeks. So part of me is thinking I might do a little bit of both tomorrow. I might do about an hour of something, an hour or 2, and then relax for the rest. So I feel as though I've not stopped completely, but I do feel as though I've had a rest. And then maybe I'll catch up with the rest once everything is out. Bernadette said she signed up for the Diamond Art Studio November event this morning. She said she had already decided to kit up her pink blossom tree. She did have the intention of starting it that day. But then she read about the event on Facebook, so she's holding off from starting it until November the 1st. She said that also gives her the chance to finish her other 2 that she started. She says she can't wait to start Pink Blossom Tree because it's gorgeous. She says, but she's also saving for I Choose You, which she hopes to order this week. I love both of those images, I really do. She says she loves the paintings from Diamond Art Studio. She says they're so different. They are. They're doing absolutely amazing with the artists that they are selecting and the artists that they're working with. I think they're just fantastic images, and they're just different images. And yeah, I agree. There is not many of them that I don't love. She says thank you for all your hard work, and she's delighted to hear that you're getting to see your family in Australia after Christmas. Thank you. It should be good. Ooh, I thought I didn't have too many questions left, but I actually do. So let me get one of these big ones out. 955. I actually need quite a few of these, so hopefully I can get through a few more questions. I'm just shuffling my computer so that I can read it a little bit easier. And try and get through all the comments, because I didn't think it was too bad comments wise, but then again I waffle, hence the title of the video. I can sometimes waffle too much. Janice, she said, hi Rebecca. She said she didn't set her alarm for the October release. She says, so unfortunately she missed out. She said, never mind. She says she will enjoy watching in December. She says you've been working so hard. Thank you. Well, you can still take part in December, Janice. You don't have to have the same painting to take part. Any diamond painting will do. Just divide it up to do a section a day. When I kit up my Advent painting, which I'm going to be kitting up on the 19th, I will also sort of talk through how you can kit up another painting to make it work for you as well. Lady Dax, she says she's entered Night Messenger. Oh, another good choice. She says for the Diamond Art Studio event. She says, but oh wow, P Jelly wants to enter too. So I'll be off in a mo to order her a painting. I hope you manage to slip another one for yourself in the basket, just to replace the one that you're about to do. She says, talking about hanging washing out on a line, she said, made her remember her old mum. She said, when I was a kid, she said she went to bring it in one winter's day, and Dad's shirts stood up on their own. She said they were frozen solid. Yeah, we've had a couple of nice days this last week, but I don't know what it is about autumn. I just don't feel like I can hang washing out in autumn. As much as it may dry, I don't feel that the air has that slight warm glow that you get to it in spring, even when it's cold. I don't know what it is. It's probably all in my head. Lynn, she says, hi Rebecca. She says, I ordered the 12-day advent calendar and she thought she'd open one every second day. That's a good idea. She said, so she's going to open her first package on the 2nd of December, and that day she opens day 24 with everyone else. I love the ideas that people are coming up to make the 12-day spread throughout December. I'm going to have to do a few different threads, I think, for people to be able to comment on what they've got, where people can still go on and comment and not spoil it for themselves by looking at a different thread. A different post on Facebook, so it doesn't spoil any surprises for anyone. Susan, She says, it's so amazing to hear your process for running your business. She said, as well as getting the cleaning, the laundry and the cleaning done. She said she can't imagine how you manage it. She said right now she is sitting in a room that is an absolute disgrace, and she's pretending the mess doesn't exist as she watches the WIP and Chat and diamond paints. Believe me, if you could see my house now, it's a mess. We may have had one day. I think what I find is I tend to have sort of certain days often where I focus on certain tasks. So a lot of those days at the moment have been the Advent items. So often I will do Advent all day, or I'll need to do, print some stickers for stock or do something for stock, because stock keeps getting low on me as well for other general shop items. So I will spend a day on focusing on stock items and getting those back up. And that can be various different things within it, but it's all based on stock. And I find I tend to focus better that way. Most days I do a clean up of the kitchen first thing in the morning, because I do find, as much as I have a very big dining table, we recently were offered a really nice dining table, a little bit posher than the one we had, by a family member. So we actually gave ours away and took the nicer dining table as an offer, which can actually extend. And we've managed to extend one of the leads of it and basically squeeze it between the couch and the printer to give me more workspace at the moment. The amount of times that desk is absolutely covered with stuff is unreal. So quite often, while I may sit at the table sorting out an individual Advent item, for example, when it comes to actually putting them together, which is what I did yesterday, started putting some of them together, I took over the kitchen sides, all over. I had totes open on the floor, stacked on top of each other, and then I would take out like 10 of each day's item and stack them up on the kitchen side and pack up 10 boxes and then repeat and repeat and repeat. I've still not finished them all. I think I did manage to get about 100 boxes packed yesterday though. So yeah, but then I will, after a few days of, doing whatever it is I need to do, the cleaning of the house day came just because I found there was, when you just end up with the odd bits where they shouldn't be. Just odd little piles of stuff, or stuff that just needs popping back into its home, whether it just be a couple of bits on the stairs and a couple of bits on the side in your room, or I'll have a couple of parcels in the hall that have arrived and I know what they are, but I don't need them for the business at the moment, so I've just left them there for now. And then you end up with a few more bits that I've had out for prepping Advent items on the table that could do with going back, or I've pulled out the laminator, or I've pulled out the heat press for doing pouches, and you just end up with stuff everywhere. And then I find that it does get to a point, especially if I have washing that needs sorting out, a maiden that needs clearing, washing that needs going away. I see dust on the stairs, or the stairs need a hoovering. I see the fact the stairs need hoovering quicker than I see the dust. Then my brain goes, okay, I need a house day. I need a reset. And I will then spend the bulk of the day basically doing a lot of tidying, but then cleaning while I'm there. Tidying is what takes the most part. And I try to tidy up what I can each evening. At the moment, it's not going very well. But on a normal business day, whatever one of those are, I often try to do a tidy up at the end of the day and put away whatever project I've been working on, so that whatever the next day's project may be, I've got the space ready to do it. It's just not happened so much at the moment because one Advent day blurs into another Advent day. It's just a different number sticker, which is probably why I don't know what date it is in October anymore, because to me it's either day 1 to 12 depending on what I'm doing for that day. I keep thinking in 1s and 12s, which is probably why it surprises me that we're hitting 20 in October, because my Advent only goes up to day 12. But it's all fun. So yes, do not fear, Susan. My house is now currently a mess. We're about to have somebody digging up the front garden as well, just to add to that. But the front garden will look beautiful, hopefully in a few weeks when it's finished. Cross Stitch and Attack, she said, excellent WIP and chat. She said she hopes another 3D printer won't push your home space away too much. Now we just keep tucking them against all the walls. They're all right when I get to turn them off at night and it goes quiet. At the moment they're printing till about 9-10 o'clock at night. But yeah, once it gets back to normal and they're turned off at like 5 o'clock, then yeah, they don't invade too much. She says when her babies were little, she remembers hanging out their little clothes on the line. She says when she was in an apartment after they were grown, she had a washer dryer stack, so one on top of the other with the washer on the bottom and the dryer on the top. She said they didn't take up too much room. She said remember to take care of you. She said thanks again, Rachel. Oh, thank you, Rachel. Yeah, we potentially could get away with a washer dryer stack if we put it in our sort of pantry, which is not our food pantry. We have a cupboard for that. But our pantry currently holds everything else. It's in need of a major clean-up. I think I've been saying that for about 6 months. But it is in need of everything coming out and having a sort out. We could potentially put one in there, but we use the shelves and stuff for so much stuff. We don't have a garage, so all our tools are in there. The tools are in there, the bins are in there, because I don't like a bin being out in the kitchen, especially because we go fill up a rubbish bin just as quick as we fill up, in fact, we fill up the recycling bin quicker than we fill up the rubbish bin. And I just don't want both of them in. I just feel like I'd be emptying the bin every single day. And sometimes we are already, so it's much easier when they're in a cupboard. Yeah, so all tools go in there, mop buckets go in there. Yeah, there's just so much stuff in there that I think taking up the space with the washer dryer, when as soon as it becomes spring, the washing's out on the line anyway. I'll just stick with my combi washer dryer for the odd emergency dry that I do need to do. Amy, she says she's going to do one of hers for place when she moves for Christmas. I'm not sure what that's in relation to. Sorry, I have slept since last week's. Completely forgot what I've discussed and what I haven't discussed. Juliet, she says, wonderful WIP and chat. She's looking so forward to her orders. She said she can't wait. She says, so love this community. Hugs from Utah. Well, hopefully yours are on the way soon. So if they're waiting for a diamond painting, it's going to be another week or two. until they can go out, but they will be going out ASAP. And I'm sure I'll keep you updated when multiple big boxes of diamond paintings turn up. I'll be sure to take a picture so that you can see them try and find some space in my house. Sandra, she says, another great WIP and Waffle. She says she thought she'd add a wee comment as she's watching this video on her tablet for a change. She says she doesn't normally comment because she's watching my videos on a smart TV in her craft room. Oh yes, trying to type a comment on a TV with a remote control. Don't blame you. She says she thought that she'd take this opportunity to say thank you to you and your family. She says for everything that you do for the diamond painting community. Oh, thank you. She says she remembers back in the day when you were hoping to reach 1,000 subscribers. She says, look at you now, way to go. Yes, it shocks me most days. It really does shock me most days. And I'm so grateful that I get to do what I do. And even if I'm working more hours now than I used to, it doesn't feel like it at the same point. I absolutely love what it is that I'm doing, which is another reason I partly want to carry on tomorrow doing it. She says, keep up the great work and be assured that I'll be watching, listening to every video as she diamond paints. Oh, thank you, Sandra. And thank you for taking the time to comment while you're on your tablet. I get the reason why you don't comment normally, especially if you're watching on a TV. It's not the easiest way to comment and reply on YouTube at all. Diamond Sparkle Chase, she says, will there be a limited edition in November? That is the question. So in relation to November, all I can say at the moment is maybe. In relation to a launch of items in November. The printers at the moment, so the printers of course are used to print the limited edition trays. The printers have been rather busy with items required for another project and pre-orders. But before October's launch, we were able to get some of the November trays printed. And I currently have one out of the 2 colours on the printer at the moment, with the second one being able to go on in the next couple of days. Now, because some of them have already been printed, it's not there's not as many left to print, of course. So it all really depends on whether I can confirm whether I know that they will be printed fully in time for November launch. And I should know that in the next week or 2. It can be very hard to determine how long it is going to take to... So I know how long it takes to print a full roll of filament, but I didn't time how long it was printing filament before I took it off to prioritise something else that needed to be prioritised. So I don't know how many days it's got left, and it's very hard to tell how many days it's got left in the middle of a roll. It's a lot easier to tell, of course, either right at the beginning or right near the end. So I am still hoping for a November launch. And I think it is all going to work out for a November launch. I just don't want to promise until I know for sure. Okay, I think I've got a section of glue here that's not as sticky. I don't know if it's my glue dot being extra sticky or the diamond painting being less sticky. I don't know. Anyway, we've got there. Okay, what do I go for now? Z is my next one. I've got nothing else that I've missed in this confetti jungle. She also says, have a fantastic day. She says she enjoys the videos. She said she can't wait to receive her Advent diamond painting and calendar. She said as of the day she's written this comment, it's in Illinois, Chicago. She says her fingers are crossed that the post office can be a pain. I'm guessing that you're hoping the post office won't be a pain. Fingers crossed it arrives with you soon, if it's not already, because that was commented 5 days ago. So hopefully you have it already. Quite a lot have turned up this last week. Seems to have actually been really, really quick to the States this last week. It's like been a golden week for things to arrive quite quickly. It's quite freaky how sometimes they arrive really quick and other times they are oh so slow. Renee, she says hello. She says she ordered for the first time with your latest release. Oh, hello and welcome. She says she recently started diamond painting and she wanted the Advent canvas. Words. She says in prep for launch, she created an account on the site and added all her details so that they were all ready. She said she also made a list and added the regular in-stock items to her cart. She says on her iPad, she set an alert so that she would be ready. And as soon as the clock turned 4:59, she said here in the US, she started refreshing the page. She said when she saw the items come up, she says she quickly added them to her cart and checked out using Apple Pay. She said her package has made it across the pond and is working its way through the US postal system. She said she's so excited. She says your little trash tray, which actually I haven't pulled one of those out today. Well, hey, I can't even speak words for most of today, so I'm not surprised. She says your little trash tray is adorable and she'd love to have one. She said take care and get some rest. Yeah, we will be launching the trash trays in 2023. We are working a little bit as and when we can free up a printer / we have stock up to start getting some of the little trash trays built up, because we expect them to be popular, and when something is popular but is going not as a limited edition, we like to get a nice decent stock amount ready so that nobody's disappointed. Limited edition we can't do much about, like each monthly limited edition. If we printed huge amounts of them so that people wouldn't be disappointed and we'd have enough for everybody, then we'd only be able to offer limited edition, say once every 3 months, and it's not quite the same. But we do repeat colours. We are going to look at repeating some for this next year to stop people being disappointed. Right, I'm trying to work out what is sort of the best colour to do now. So I could start working on some of this tree stuff, but I'm actually thinking I might work on filling these two in first and then I can work on the tree. So let's go for Y. Jolie says, hey, thank you for the amazing video. She said, they help me relax and get my diamond painting time in almost every week. She says, as a newly qualified teacher, oh, busy times. She said, it's easy to get overwhelmed with all the work. She says, but your videos help me a lot to diamond paint at least once a week. She says, and because it's autumn break in her country, she thinks she'll be watching back quite a lot of old videos from you now she has the time. Oh, I know how, and not personally, no, but have experience of through Megan how tiring the first term is, especially. First half term, yes. First term in general, because if your sort of school year follows the same as ours, you're talking September through to October when you would tend to have, you know, a half term break. So you've got the whole busyness of new school year, kids moving up a year, settling into school, sometimes for the first time ever, sometimes just after a long break. We've got a new teacher, a new way of working, all the rest just makes it absolutely crazy. Then you have half term, you feel like you can breathe a little bit, and then you go back, and of course it's not only, you know, settling back in, but then you have all the Christmas events that seem to come out of every single orifice in school, along with everything else. So yeah, I completely feel your pain in relation to that. It's our half term next week, or at least it's Megan's half term. I say ours. This is all determined by when Megan's half term is now at the primary school she works at, because otherwise I would not have a clue. But hers is next week. She broke up on Friday, so yesterday as I'm filming this. She broke up for half term, and I think she's so glad to just have that week, and she's hoping when she goes back it's just going to be a lot easier to fall back into the swing of things. But yeah, crazy times. Sarah Jane, she says she's in a flat, so she uses an airer. She says she does have a dryer, but it's expensive to run at the moment. Yeah, with our electric prices, etc., I think most people are trying to not use the dryer where possible. Few more comments and questions left, so let's see where I can get to with these. See if I can get to the end of them, and then I will have to vamoose. I have a diamond painting to kit up and some unboxings to do, including a sneak peek of a new arrival coming soon. So stay tuned for that video. I need to film that today. Nancy, she says, thank you, Rebecca. She says, another lovely WIP and Waffle. She said here in Canada, she said she put some of her laundry out on the line during the spring, summer, she says, and in the early fall months. I'm changing my plan. I'm doing a colour that I don't have as many of because I'm near the end of my questions. She says she also hangs things in her laundry room in the basement. She says it's nice to have two separate machines. She says, but you're right, space is required for that luxury. Isn't it ever? Space is a luxury, I think. That's what our constant battle is space. Then again, if all the kids moved out, we'd have loads of space and then I'd be gutted anyway. She says she picked up a few off the canvas items. She said that she's going to add to her 12 day of Christmas box. and she says she likes Lynn Loves Diamond Paintings idea to open up one of the 12-day every other day in the month of September. So yeah, you could open up an off the canvas item on the odd days and one of the 12-day advent items on the even days, and spread them out over the full 24, with day 12 matching up with day 24, because that sort of matches up across both advent calendars. So it will still be a surprise then, hopefully, for everyone. Laura, she said she had to re-watch the shop launch video to check the date of the release. She said it's been really bugging her whilst listening to this video, and she said she did get the wrong day. Oh no, I'm sorry. There is going to be, a limited amount of the kits and the 12-day advent going up for general sale once all the pre-orders have been shipped out. So do sign up for the waiting list. I am planning on putting them both up together. So once we have a final stock count, I will wait for us to have a final stock count for both and put them up at the same time. For any international customers, if they are lucky enough to get both, then they will be able to get both shipped together without us having to combine orders and refund the difference, because that takes time. We've done quite a bit of that recently and it does take quite a bit of time. KS, she says here is her tip and trick. She says when she only needs a few diamonds, she said she dips her multi-placer in the pot and then shakes or brushes the diamonds into her tray. She said seems to be the only way she can get a few. Well, I like that idea. So like have a multi-placer on and get that to get a few out of your pot. I like that idea. And then last question. Bew, she says she's registered her interest for the square diamond painting. Is there anything else she needs to do? She says, how do I pre-order it, please? So if you've registered your interest, you will receive an email when we put the remaining stock on the website, and then it's first come, first served to be able to buy it. The pre-order, the guaranteed pre-order, was only open for 48 hours. So if you've got your email address there, you'll get emailed when they're in stock, and then first come, first served. She has also asked, will there be a November tray launch? But I did answer that earlier with hopefully, but I don't want to guarantee yet. I'll try and update you more on that next week. I should hopefully know for definite. Right, I'm going to stop there on this one. I do still have most of my tree and stuff, a few different colours to go, but I've reached sort of the end of the comments. But look at that confetti though, it is pretty. So yeah, that is my Dreamers designs. How far I've got, I think this is pretty much the middle. That is going by this part here. That is about halfway through the words. So I'm thinking this strip will get me halfway. I don't know how far I will get, but stay tuned for videos upcoming this week. I've got a kitting up, kitting down, and a couple of sneak peeks at new items from a couple of different companies. First one is coming tomorrow. Rather exciting, so stay tuned for those. I'm going to go and get those videos prepped now, but thank you all so much for watching, and I will speak to you all again soon.